Hey, what's going on, everybody? So I decided I was going to go ahead and make that tutorial video on that long exposure shot that I did of those star trails. It's this photo right here. It's pretty simple to do. Doesn't take many tools, just a little bit of time and a night sky. I guess to get started, I'll go ahead and show you the gear that I plan on using and some basic settings. Alright, for now, I'll look at the gear that I was using for the shot. My camera body, this right here, is the Canon 70D. We also have the good old intervalometer. It's a cheap version. I don't know what it was on Amazon that I got. It was supposed to be some newer brand, but they sent me something called a Shoot, I guess. It works fine. It was only $15 and gets the job done. Then my choice of lens is the Tokina 10 to 17 millimeter fisheye. It's the widest lens that I have in my bag, and I typically want the widest lens because I can get more of the sky and the actual shot, so that's why I went with this. Your standard kit lenses are wide enough. I think they're 18 to 55 millimeter. Those work perfectly fine too. I also have a tripod, but it's actually attached to the camera that I'm filming with, so I can't really show you that. Now for the settings. Pretty much anytime that I shoot long exposure shots, I always shoot in manual exposure mode, which is the M on the mode dial. And I'll go ahead and click it over to manual exposure. Check out the settings that I have here now. For shutter speed, I always shoot at the lowest shutter speed possible, which in manual exposure mode is normally 30 seconds. So I'll shoot 30 seconds. My aperture, it was fine. I had it at 7.1 when I shot that shot. The reason why I had it at 7.1 is the images normally come out sharper between f7.1 and f11. So I just went with that to try it out, since I have a little bit of room to shoot a higher ISO with this camera. So, and I think my ISO that I was using was only around 800, which isn't bad. And you can play with your aperture and ISO to fine tune it when you take test exposures to see which one you like. But typically always keep your shutter speed around 30 seconds. Another tip too is whenever you're shooting these on your lens, make sure you always shoot in manual focus mode. You have your AF and your MF. Always click it down to MF for manual focus. That way when you go to half press and start to get ready to focus and take the picture, it's just going to sit there and hunt and never be in focus. So you always shoot in manual focus mode. And also, after you set your lens to manual focus, you want to set the actual focus distance to infinity, which is that little symbol right there. That way everything will be in focus when you do snap the shot, and you won't have to worry about any out of focus issues. Alright, for the scene of the shot, I basically just shot the picture from the porch of my house. It's really cold outside. I didn't feel like going looking for a field to sit in for an hour while I was going to take all the pictures at, so it's really convenient. I just set the intervalometer, started the timer, went back inside, and came back out when it was done. This is what it looks like during daylight, and I guess you'll be able to see the huge difference when we start shooting the long exposures at night. Alright, this is basically what my setup looks like when it's set and ready to go. I guess it's hard to take the picture outside because it's dark, but I figure I'll show you what it looked like before I started the project. The intervalometer's plugged in. I have it set. I won't really go over all the functions of how to use the intervalometer. They're not hard to use, but I pretty much just set the shot count for some ridiculous amount of number. Like I think I set it for 60, and then at 30-second exposures, it should take a little over half an hour to shoot all those pictures. And basically, you just take it outside, set it up where you're going to set the pictures, start the intervalometer timer, and let it just do its work, and then you come out and retrieve it when you're done. Now that we've finished shooting all of our photos and dumped them onto our computer, the next step is we want to download a piece of software that's called StarStax. You can Google search it. Just type in StarStax. The first couple of links are to the website and lead you to the download link. I'll also leave a download link in the description so you can click straight through to go through to it. But once we click and go to the website, download installation. There's a Mac OS version, Windows. They even have it for Linux. I have Windows, so you go ahead and click that download link. It'll take you to another page, and it should start instantly downloading. I've already downloaded it though, so I'll back out of that and go to my download folder. And it's a compressed file, and basically, right-click, extract it. And once you extract it, it'll extract into a folder. You can open that up, and this down here is the actual application to the software. It doesn't have an installation file or anything. You just start it and it runs. So we'll go ahead and fire it up. This is what it looks like, and what the program does basically is it'll let you drop multiple pictures into the program, and it'll process them and blend them together to make them into one single image. So with our star trails being that when we shot the pictures and the sky tends to move throughout the night when the earth rotates, it basically, as we were taking these long 30-second exposures, they would leave slight little trails each time, and then each new exposure would just keep on going, extending the trail. So as we shot these pictures for over an hour, the sky actually moved a decent amount, and you'll see when we start to process the pictures, that's where the actual stars that look like dots start to turn into streams of light. We'll go ahead and open up our picture folder where I snapped my pictures. We have 59 files in here that I shot. There were a couple, I think, that were like shaky and stuff that I took out when I did look at them, but we'll go ahead and select all the photos and just drag them into the program. Once they're in the program, basically make sure they're all selected and checked here. And one of the things to make this work right is set the blending mode to lighten. Make sure it's always on lighten. And the only thing you really have to do now is click process. And as we see now, it's starting to blend all the images, and now we're starting to see the trails. And one reason why mine actually shows like it looks kind of like the stars are spiraling is because basically all of the stars rotate around the North Star. So if I actually pointed the camera straight at the North Star, all these star trails would look like a giant circle. But since the North Star was kind of like off camera to the upper right of the photo, that's why mine are curving in this way. So now that it's done, this is our final image basically that we get to work with, and you can just go ahead and click save as and find you a folder to save it as in, and I don't know, we'll just 111, we'll save it as this. Go ahead and save, image save, click OK. Saved it in this new folder. This is our image right here, and bam, that's your final product.